able to pop on. Hi, Kurtu. Hi, guys. Hi, Amanda. So we're going to do a 30-minute full bod sesh with a focus on upper body and arms. Hi, everybody. Just coming on. You're not going to need any props today. But we are just going to start in a seated position. So if you want to sit on a pillow or a little mat, maybe fold up your mat, you can. Otherwise, maybe just send me like a heart or a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. I always like to double check. And cool, we'll go ahead and get started. So find yourself seated comfortably. If you'd rather lay down to start, you absolutely can. Happy Tuesday. And I want you to just go ahead and, thank you, place your hands somewhere onto your body. So I'm gonna go ahead and take one hand to chest, one hand to belly, just so I can kind of check in with myself. You can absolutely just rest your hands on your knees. And then let your eyes soften to a close if that feels safe. If not, just keep your gaze soft. Get on any little wiggles or rolls that you might need in order to find yourself in a relatively still position. And then start to think about the shape of your spine. Do you feel like you're just kind of sinking into your pelvis? Maybe your chin is a little forward of your chest. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you're opening your ribs and kind of leaning your chest over your toes, balancing a little bit more forward onto your pubic bone. Either way, start to check in with your alignment, focusing on the ground up. Can you think about the center of those butt cheeks, right where your sitting bones live, just rooting down into the floor. And then bring your awareness to your low back. Can you start to create a little bit of space through your low back, just the tiniest little arch where your belly button rests just above your pubic bone. Taking nice deep breaths in and out, think about your ribs just drawing back to rest just above those sitting bones. Let your shoulders get a little heavier away from your ears if you feel them hiked up. And then gently bring your head back in space as if you were leaning the back of your head against a wall, giving yourself the slightest little baby double chin. I always think of myself like a little ornament. Right through the crown of my head is the string, and I'm just hanging directly from the ceiling. Breathe into this new shape that you've just created, this nice neutral spine, the best spine you can find right now. As you exhale, try not to feel that space go away. Just feel the muscles tighten around those bones that you've shifted into this position. If you have a hand on chest, hand on belly, breathe into both hands. And as you exhale out, try and arrive all the way to empty. If you're furrowing your brow, let it go. If you're clenching your jaw, let it soften. And then keeping everything exactly as is, you're just gonna let your right ear tip to your right shoulder. If you feel a little strain in the left side, just maybe tip it a little less. You're gonna gently start to roll your nose towards your right armpit. And then chin to chest. Again, every other part of your bod staying super still. Nose to left armpit. And then left ear to left shoulder. Eventually open your throat towards the sky. And bring your head back on top of your spine. Give everything a little shake. Maybe roll the shoulders up and back. We're just going to do it in the opposite direction. So slightest little drop of your ear to the left shoulder. For me, that right side feels a lot tighter. So just be gentle with it. You're going to turn your nose to your armpit. Chin to chest. Nose to right armpit. Right ear, right shoulder. Throat open to the sky. Restack your head. Open your eyes. Give everything a little shake. You're going to interlace those fingers. Push the palms forward and reach them straight up towards the sky. The reason we release the neck a little bit is because we tend to take some load into the traps and into the upper body when we work through our arms. So just giving it a moment to relax before we kind of move into some tougher motions. I'm just giving myself a little side bend either way. If you want to take another stretch here, feel free. Next time you restack that bod, hike the shoulders up even higher, separate the fingertips, reach them wide to the sides of the room, paint the biggest circle as they arrive to the floor. Let everything breathe. Gorgeous. You're gonna flip onto your butt. Feet are gonna plant, knees up towards the sky. And you're gonna go ahead and lay yourself into the mat. Walk your heels as close to your butt as you need so that your knees are directly up towards the ceiling and you have some creases in the fronts of those hips. Take a peek down, making sure that your feet aren't wider than your pelvis, and then gently start to find a connection to your low abs by taking an exhale and drawing your hip bones in towards your low ribs. Try not to just thrust your low back into the mat, but gently feeling that separation and articulation of the low back, and then as you inhale, just release. Let gravity shift you back into neutral. No need to overexert that low back. It's a little bit flexible already. As you exhale, draw the navel in. Feel your hip bones draw towards each other. Tilt your pubic bone to the sky. Notice if your ribs are trying to go along for the ride. If so, maybe take a hand to the ribs. Give them a gentle pat to tell them to just chill. It's all about the pelvis right now. Good. 3 more. Notice if your shoulders are rounding forward or off the mat. Can you feel a little width across your collarbones and chest, letting the backs of the shoulders remain heavy to start. Last 2. Beautiful. The next time that you release the pelvis back into neutral, you're going to stay nice and neutral. Hands are going to interlace right behind your head at the base of the skull, elbows nice and wide for a breath. With your feet still nice and heavy, pelvis nice and neutral, take an exhale to draw the elbows up towards the ceiling, creating this little hammock for your head to rest in. You're going to exhale and tip your chest forward, finding your first ab curl. Pause in your ab curl. Notice if your chin is pressing to chest and let your nose tip slightly above those kneecaps. Can you tip the elbows back up towards the ceiling? Let your head press even heavier into your palms as you lift your chest 1 extra inch. And then gently lay yourself all the way down. You do this version of arm work pretty much in every Pilates class, at least with us, when you're finding that ab curl. We ask that your shoulders, that your biceps give you a little bit more support than the sides of your neck. Trying to keep the weight of your skull heavy in those hands like you're lifting a bowling ball. Just 4 more curls here, trying to create space through the entire spine as you exhale and curl up. Keep that space through each vertebra as you lay your head back down. Last 2. Good. The next time that you find a forward flexion that works for you, you're going to keep that upper ab curl. Check in with the shoulders. Can you broaden the chest but scoop the tips of the elbows to the ceilings? Take little pulses up as if the elbows were getting pulled up to the sky by a little string, chest being curled slightly up over the knees. Press into your feet for a little more challenge through the lower half of your bod. For 6. Last 5. Try not to hold your breath. Add more inhale, heavier exhales for a deeper burn. Last 2. Gorgeous. Last 1. Keep your upper ab curl. Press your head into your palms. Start to find your pelvic tuck here, drawing your navel in. Feel the entire spine in that C curve. And then gently release the tailbone back to neutral without letting your head lower any bit at all. As you find that tuck, maybe you curl a little higher, finding that ab shake and voice shake. And then as you inhale, head is heavier in the hands, but your biceps work a little harder, shoulders work a little harder as you find neutral. Press into the heels to add a little more oomph to your pelvic tuck. We go for 3. Head gets to relax down in 2. Find a little pelvic rock here. As you find that neutral, lay your head all the way down, open those elbows wide. Let your knees fall to the left, taking just a little twist. Pull your knees back through center, let them fall to the right, little twist. Bring them back to center, knees will stay up towards the sky, head will lower down onto the floor as your arms reach up towards the ceiling. Take a few shoulder shrugs if you need it. Feel the backs of the shoulders plant into the mat. Reach your hands forward for your heels and find that same ab curl. As if someone was pulling you by the fingertips, can you curl a little higher? And then gently lay your head right back down, letting the arms rise. If you need the support of your hands behind your head today, take it. We won't be here that long, but trying to feel that same engagement, that same reach through straight arms that you found with it when it was supporting your head. 2 more. Taking momentum out of the picture, finding that extra little squeeze at the top. Final one, just like this. Good. The next time that you curl forward, use your hands if you need to curl yourself all the way up to seated. Hands can find your thighs. Bring yourself up. Knees are going to stay up towards the sky, feet nice and heavy. I always use this as a little trick, making little L's with your thumbs. You're gonna lay yourself down just till the waistband and kind of hook your thumbs right at the top of your butt cheeks. Pull your elbows a little more narrow and then press away from the floor so you have this broad chest. Can you let your chest dip back a little bit, let your butt relax, and then tuck your pelvis, curl your chest forward, feeling all of that ab work. Neck is loose, shoulders are away from the ears. Do that 2 more times. Letting it go, finding your weight in your sits bones, and then drawing your navel in, pressing into the heels, tilting your pubic bone up, lifting the crown of the head to the sky. That's gonna be your position for the rest of this. If you wanna do it lying on your back, you can. Otherwise, tuck that pelvis, curl your chest slightly forward, feel your abs. From here, left leg is gonna find tabletop. Tuck your pelvis even more, float your right leg to tabletop, press away from the floor from those forearms. I always think of a string trying to pull the backs of my shoulders towards each other. Already your abs are working here. You're gonna tap your right foot to the floor. You're gonna take a breath in, exhale, scoop it up nice and slow. Keep the tuck of your pelvis. Left foot taps down. Exhale, scoop it back up nice and slow. That foot does not have to touch the floor. You're using your hands here as little proprioceptors, little police officers. If you feel your butt rock out of your thumbs, then you've gone just a little bit too far out of your range today. Try and keep your pelvis scooped, moving that thigh bone away, and then drawing through the low belly to lift it back up. If this is feeling super solid, I'm already sweating, you're gonna go ahead and straighten the leg, long and low, and then draw it right back in, curl your chest forward, head is reaching straight up towards the sky, left leg reaches long and low. Keep drawing your navel in, keep pressing away from the floor, feeling the shoulders work, feeling your triceps work. All 10 fingers are spread wide, we go for 4. Take your time, shoulders are away from the ears for 3. Good, last 2. Make sure you are nice and square on 1. Pull both knees in, rest 1 foot down at a time. With your feet heavy on the floor, you're gonna push into both hands to lift your chest up. Drive down through all 10 fingers through the palms of your hands. Wrap the tip of your elbows to point back, biceps forward, feeling the whole arm engage. You're gonna bend the elbows, keeping them nice and narrow. Set yourself right back down into your abdominal position. Push away from the floor, chest is curled forward, tuck that pelvis, adjust your hands if you need. Left leg finds tabletop, right leg finds tabletop. Take a breath, this time we go for both legs. Halfway they dip down, keep their shape. Slowly drag back up, keeping the tuck of your pelvis. Notice if you're getting super tense in the neck, what can you adjust? Can you curl your chest forward a little more? Can you put a little bit more weight into your hands? Can you wrap the shoulder blades towards each other just a little bit more? If this is feeling amazing, you're gonna turn this into your double leg lengthen, that reach. Go a little higher to start, play around with where your legs are in space and what activates your low abs the most. Try not to feel your weight shift in the arms. They are there as your support system. Constantly pressing down through the forearms. Can you go for 4? Give your head that shake at any point that you find tension. Try not to let the shoulders round forward. Last 3. We're gonna keep the legs straight in 2. If that's not your jam today, continue with your little lower and lift. The next time you extend those legs long, hold. Take external rotation if you need it. Lower the legs an inch. Exhale, sweep them up that inch. Good, try and keep the tuck. Navel draws in and up to your ribs. Check in with your shoulders. Last 4, take momentum out of the picture. For 3. Last 2, friends. On this last one, bend those knees in, rest 1 foot down at a time. Take a breath here, press into both hands, push yourself forward. Adding on to this, continue to press down through the hands, walk your feet so the heels are slightly forward of your knees. Tuck your pelvis using the low abs you've worked so much, lift your butt up, find your upside down quadruped. Woo, head is in line with spine, squeeze your butt a little bit here, squeeze your inner thighs, press into the heels. Chin draws to chest, articulate your spine right back down, butt finds your hands. You are seated on your sits bones, you bend the elbows, you roll yourself back to the forearms. Take a breath in, push up from the hands, nice straight arms. Scoop through the low belly, lift your hips up into the air. We do 4 more just like this. If you just want to focus on the lift of the hips up and no bend of the elbows, stick with that. If you are taking the bend of the elbows, it's that reverse tricep press, go slow. Use the abs as you press into the palms to curl up. Use the butt as you drive through the heels to lift. Keep pressing down through all 10 fingers. Last 2. Woo. Amazing work. Last one. The next time you find yourself with your butt in the air, nice straight arms, we stay there. Deep breath in, heavy exhale out, just hold for 5. For 4, maybe you're looking straight up towards the ceiling. Last 3, squeeze your butt and inner thighs a little more, press all 10 toes down for 2. Last one, chin to chest, roll your butt back. Find yourself seated, arms reach forward. Take a second, you are seated upright, open and close the legs a little, adjust your legs if you need. Whew, deep breath in. You're gonna try and extend the legs long if that feels okay. Roll the shoulders up and back, and then tuck your pelvis, lay yourself into the mat. Arms get to reach all the way back overhead. Let them circle wide if you have the space. If not, elbows bend. 2 more just like this, letting your arms just feel like bones, heavy weight in the air as you find this little release. Last one. Good, you're gonna gently roll onto your left side. Finding your legs stacked in tabletop, finding that left arm just beneath your ear. Right hand is gonna plant in front of your chest. Press the left palm down into the mat. So both hands, both palms are pressing down. Glue that right elbow in, push into both hands, and find this little side sit up, right? Hang out for a second. Be able to press a little heavier into the right palm than the left palm. And then gently bend the right elbow, lay yourself right back down. Right palm and left palm, press to push you up. And then left arm lengthens, right elbow bends. We're just going for 3, right? Last 2. Good, if you want to ditch the left arm completely to make it more challenging for that right arm, you can. Last one. Find that side, sit up, take that left hand, reach it in line with the right, flip onto all 4s. Take a second, once you're there, give yourself a cat-cow, knowing that you just worked your right arm a little bit more than your left, and we're gonna kind of stick with that. So as you find this cat-cow, take anything you need. If your wrists are super sensitive or knees are super sensitive, double up your mat. Find your nice neutral spine. From here, you're gonna keep that right hand pressing down into the mat, wrap your elbow back. Left arm is going to reach forward by your ear. Pause. Square your shoulders. Feel that right arm working hard just to stabilize, and then extend your right leg straight back. If lifting it up doesn't feel good today, toes are planted on the mat. If not, you're literally just holding. Can you shine your chest forward, tip your right hip to the floor just a little bit more? Finding a bit of a seesaw here. You're gonna bend your right elbow an inch, tip your chest forward, tap the left fingertips to the mat, squeeze your right butt and lift it a little higher in space. And then push into the right palm to lift that left arm straight up back by your ear. It sucks. We go for 6. Bend the right elbow an inch. Left fingertips find the mat, right leg squeezes up your one long line from left middle finger to right big toe. Push from that right arm, square your right leg and left arm straight forward. We go for 4. Resist the urge to use momentum or to shift your weight back. Last 3. We are in it for 2. Final one, friends. You're gonna pause here, replace the left hand. Pull your right knee so close in towards your nose that you can step your right foot in between your hands. Push up from that right heel, lift your chest, and take a second in this proposal shape. Give everything a shake that you need to give a shake. Left toes are gonna tuck beneath you. You're gonna push yourself to fully stand tall. So adjust your footing if you need. Press into both feet and find your front splits. Arms get a little break. Right leg is gonna work a little harder here. Hips are nice and square towards the front edge of your mat. You're gonna bend both knees either halfway or all the way. Come into the mat nice and carefully. And then you're gonna press into your front heel, lift and zip up through the inner thighs as you stand tall. Gorgeous. Bend both knees. Arms can hang off the body. You can press the hands together. Do whatever feels good here, just letting your shoulders get a moment as we work through that right glute. Again, if you have any knee pain, maybe you're just going halfway down, pushing right back up. Good. Find a little balance here. Find a little connection through the abs. Last 4. Trying to keep those hip bones as headlights. Trying to keep your right knee healthy over your right ankle instead of forward of your right toes. Last 2. Good. On this last one, you are gonna find yourself bending both knees halfway. Sit your booty back like you're sitting into a chair. Straighten the back leg as you tilt your chest forward. Bend the back knee, tilt your chest back up. So your back leg is straightening and bending. Your front leg is staying bent, right? You can always step that left foot back if you need more space. Your left heel stays off the floor. Go for 5. We stay forward in that lunge in 4. See if you can sit a little deeper every time both knees are bent. Last 3. Chest tips forward, right butt cheek pulls back as the left leg straightens. 2 more. The next time you are tipped forward, right knee is bent, left leg is straight, hold it there. Bring your nose over your right big toe a little bit more, sink a little deeper, lift your right heel off the floor, lower it back down. We just go for 5, nice and slow. Everything else stays the same. If you just want to hold this lunge, hold this lunge. For 3, relax the shoulders. Last 2. Good. On this last one, hands find the floor. Step your right foot back. You're in a plank. Just hold. If coming to the forearms feels like a nice little draw, you can totally come onto the forearms. Hang out for a breath. Tip your chest slightly forward. Flex your heels. Pull your tail between your legs and just breathe for 3. Breathe for 2. As safely and gently as you can, set the knees down. Untuck the toes, butt back over the heels. Give your hips a little sway side to side. Find whatever version of a stretch here feels juicy, feels good, feels needed. Gorge, you're gonna find yourself seated. Legs nice and long at one edge of the mat. Arms reaching forward. You're gonna pull your belly button to spine and articulate your way back onto the floor. Arms reach overhead. Big breath in and out, circle wide. As they arrive to your hips, flip onto your right side. Good. Right bicep beneath you, legs in tabletop. Take a second once you're here. Right palm is pressing down into the mat. Left palm is flat in front of your chest. Use both hands to start. Try not to let your whole body sink down into your ribs, but find that active waist as if you were doing sideline. Pressing into both hands. Side bend. Feel the left oblique a little bit here. And then bend that left elbow, keeping that forearm close to the ribs as you lay back down. For me, my left arm is a little bit stronger. Who knows why? But I'm still gonna keep my right palm on the floor just so that I don't hike the shoulder, because I tend to do that on the left side of my neck as well. Maybe slowing it down to challenge that arm a little bit more, or lifting your bottom arm completely if that feels good. Good. Last two. Just prepping it for that single arm quadruped work you're about to do. Like, why? Because it's good for you. Last one. Push yourself up, hold, take a breath. Right hand meets left hand, or right hand right next to the left hand. Carefully find all fours. Take a little cat-cow, untuck the toes, wiggle the butt, maybe give your wrists a moment of love if they need it. Beautiful. And then we're gonna go ahead and find that right arm straight forward. Take a breath in, left leg straight back. If planting the foot feels better for you, gives you more support, plant the foot, otherwise find support here. Drop the left hip bone square to the floor. You're gonna bend that left elbow back towards your hips, 1 inch, tip your nose forward as if you were gonna nose dive, lift the left leg, tip your right fingertips into the mat. Find that long diagonal line, pull your belly into your low back, push the left arm to straight, square your hips and shoulders off. Left elbow bends 1 inch, tip forward to put more weight into that left tricep. Right back up. 4 more. Good, can you connect your front 2 ribs? Last 3, try not to lean to the right side of the room. 2 more. Good, starting to feel the left leg warm up for that lunge that's coming. Last one. Keep your leg extended, bring your right hand down, pull that left knee in as much as you can, step it between your hands, push yourself up to your high kneel. Take a second here, adjust your footing, wiggle your hips a little bit, find where you are in space, because we've kind of gone in a circle. Tuck your back toes, pull your ribs back over your pelvis, drive through that left heel, stand tall. Take a second at the top, bend halfway or all the way, set your right knee down into the mat safely, gently. And then drive through that left heel, zip up through the midline, stand tall. You always want to check in with your hip bones. Where do they live in space? If the front of your right quad is super tight, you can absolutely take a little hip flexor stretch here, why not? If you feel the need, do it. Good, and again, if bending that back leg all the way to the mat doesn't feel good, then don't do it, right? Come halfway. Finding a stronger connection to the torso as you stand for 2. Good, the next time that you come down, you'll stand tall and hold. You're gonna bend both knees halfway. You're gonna straighten your back leg, tip your chest forward like there's a button underneath your right big toe. Find your lunge, adjust your stance if you need. Bend the back knee, tilt your chest up. So you are pivoting over that top of the left thigh bone. Good, I tend to think of my body like a little machine sometimes, where I'm like, oh, one button makes this thing move, another button makes this thing move. A lot of visuals, you guys, a lot of visuals. So do whatever works for you. For 6. Can you sink a little lower every time that back knee bends? Straighten a little more from the hamstring every time you tip the chest forward. Last 3. Good, we stay in our tipped forward lunge in 2. Amazing, last one, tip that chest forward, hold. Left heel lifts. Left heel lowers. All you have after this is a little plank, you guys. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, hands find the mat in 2. Last one, hands find your mat, left foot steps back, hold. Widen your stance for a little support here. We take 10 shoulder taps. Right hand taps left shoulder, comes back down, left hand to right shoulder. You can always just hold your plank. Whatever version works for you today. We have 5. For 4. Last 3. Keeping your hips as square as you can for 2. Make sure you are even on 1. Hold your plank, breathe for 3. Last 2. Last 1. Set your knees down. Untuck your toes. Sit your butt back over your heels. Take a deep breath. Slowly find your way to seated. If you're still with me, let's just stretch those shoulders real quick. So sitting, setting. How you did when you first started. Take a second. Deep breath in. You're going to let your arms rise up towards the sky. Left hand grabs the right wrist or interlace the fingers. Take a little side bend up and over to the left. Give your head a little shake. Shoulders are soft away from you. Right butt cheek is grounding to the floor. Slowly draw back up. Just pivot so that the left hand has the back of your right elbow. Like you're trying to scratch right between the shoulder blades. Give yourself a little tug. And then check in that the shoulders are relaxed. And both arms to the sky. Right hand grabs your left wrist or interlace the fingers, whatever feels better. A little side bend up and over to the right. Left booty cheek heavy. Breathe into the left side. Restack your spine. Drop that left hand behind you. Take that right hand behind your elbow. Give it a little pull. Start to let things soften. Start to find a little more breath into your body. I'm going to interlace my hands. Push the palms to the sky. One last big reach. Taking a little circle, side bending to the left, rotating through center. Open to the right. Back up to the sky. And then just reversing. Side bend to the right. Through center. To the left. To the sky. One last little hike. Separate the hands. Big circle up and back. Give it all a little shake. If you have any questions or need anything from me, I'm here. If you haven't already seen, the GoFundMe is over halfway. Thank you all so much. These free classes, these mat classes aren't going anywhere. So if you can share, donate, anything, it's amazing. If not, please enjoy your evening. I will see you all soon.